Hi everybody, this is Celeste and I'm a nationally certified interventionist. I'm a family coach and I'm also a recovery coach, and I'm here for day 2 of the launch of my recovery coaching program that I offer to people in early recovery or trying to build on longer term recovery. And I really want to talk today about the frustration and sense of powerlessness that comes with feeling stuck in that state of active addiction. And it's such a frustrating place to be in, because a lot of times too, in active addiction we'll tell ourselves or the people around us, this is the last time I'm going to drink, this is the last time I'm going to use, and feeling very resolute, being able to see the consequences, seeing our lives crumbling around us, and realizing that our substance use, our drinking, our drug use is to cause for this, and feeling just a sense of frustration with ourselves, and feeling powerless to get out of this cycle of using, and waking up the next day and feeling horrible, and feeling determined that today is going to be the day that I don't drink or use again, and then that night you're right back into drinking or drugging, and just feeling frustration at that vicious cycle. And a lot of times, even in my own experience or talking to other people that are in recovery or active addiction, is it's not even being addicted to the substance as much as it is being addicted to that sense of escape, that sense of escaping our shame, our guilt of using or drinking, the escaping the guilt and shame of the past, because a lot of times, a lot of us didn't learn healthy coping mechanisms growing up. So why a lot of times why wouldn't we drink, right? There's trauma, there's mental health issues going on that weren't worked on or resolved, and we weren't taught growing up those healthy coping mechanisms. And this is why I really developed the recovery coaching program that I offer. We'll start to look at some of those traumas, some of the underlying mental health. We'll talk about urge management and coping with cravings. We'll start to look at some of those unhelpful thinking patterns and behavior patterns that really got us to where we were. And that's where the coping piece comes in, is learning, recognizing our existing behaviors and thoughts that have led us to the point where we feel powerless over substance and unable to cope with life on life's terms. And so we really start to look at some of those thinking patterns and start to challenge them. And that's where the coping piece comes in, is learning to cope with life on life's terms, so that we don't have to use substances to escape the mental clusterfuck in our heads, for lack of a better term, because that's exactly what it feels like. Even before a lot of us started drinking or using, there was that mental hamster wheel that a lot of times we feel powerless to get off the hamster wheel, and we don't know how to cope with being stuck in there, right? And then we start to drink, we start to use, and it starts to numb that out, and we find that in the beginning it's a good coping mechanism, because it starts to slow down or stop that hamster wheel, and it's great in the beginning, and it works great until it stops working, and then it's just a dumpster fire, right? So we really start to challenge some of those thinking patterns, and we start to challenge some of those behavior patterns, so that we can start to overwrite those and get some healthy coping mechanisms going on. We can learn to break codependent cycles. We can learn to set boundaries. We talk about improving communication, and all of these things are going to lead to building better relationships, better, more functional relationships. And that's not something that happens overnight. And I know a lot of times people think, whether it be the person in active addiction or the family members think, if this person could just get sober, all the problems will be solved. And, you know, it's not like waving a magic wand. I wish it was, but once, you know, you get into sobriety, you get into recovery, it does take time. It takes time to rebuild yourself. It takes time to rebuild those relationships, and to rebuild some of the trust in ourselves, and have our family members and our loved ones regain that trust in us as well. That's all going to take time. So I wish I could say there was a magical solution. I could just wave my magical wand, but there's a lot. It takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. And I'm really going to challenge you to do some of that hard work. And that is one thing that I really am going to do, is I'm going to challenge you to do a lot of the hard work in changing these patterns. And this isn't something I haven't done myself. So I've done a lot of hard work in recovery to get to the point where I feel really comfortable and solid in challenging you to do the same. And having said that, I'm going to be here to support you every step of the way. So I'm not just going to ask you to do a bunch of hard work and then run off and leave you to do it on your own. I'm going to be here to support you through the process. And at the same time, a lot of these tools that I'm going to be giving you during the course of the program are really going to empower you, so that when you're done the program, you can take these skills and tools and strategies that are very simple yet very strategic in how we place them and how we implement them into your program to set you up for success. So what we're doing here is we're setting you up with a really firm foundation to build the rest of your life on. And I've done this work myself. I've done this program myself, and I've coached other people through these same techniques, and I'm a miracle sitting here today. I've seen other people do this and have miraculous changes happen as well. And it's literally like watching magic happen when I'm talking to people about this stuff. And sometimes there's a couple weeks where it's, you know, where we both feel like we're maybe pounding our head against a brick wall for a bit. And then all of a sudden it's like the light bulb goes on, it clicks, and then that's when the changes really start to happen. So I'm willing to be here to support you, and all I need from you is a willingness to learn and a willingness to do the hard work. That's all you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the information for how to apply for my recovery coaching program. And so go on the link, fill out the application, and then we'll set up a call to talk about setting up your individualized program. Because in my mind, there isn't a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach to this, because everybody comes to this program with a different set of circumstances, different backgrounds, different mental health concerns, different traumas, different family of origin issues. So it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. So I'm going to want to sit down with you and individualize a plan that's going to be most beneficial and effective for you. So we'll set up a call. We'll take about half hour, start to talk about that, and then we'll get going on your recovery coaching program. And you are going to love this. It's absolutely magical. It's magical to experience it, and it is hard work, but the results are phenomenal. So make sure you click the link, fill out the application, and then we'll talk. You're going to want to fill out this application, PDQ, because even just in talking about launching this week, I've had several people apply even before the launch started. So you're going to want to get on there, apply really quickly because spots are filling up. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk soon.